Did we get it? Did we get it? Are we live? It looks like it. Oh boy. Okay. Okay. God bless technology. Leave it to me to start a new YouTube live series in the middle of Mercury retrograde. We'll see what happens. We'll see what happens. Okay. I think we're good. We'll see who jumps on today. Now, I have notes because I have ADD, aka multitasking skills. So let me just make sure that we stay on track with all that. Cool. All right. Yes, we're still good. Awesome. Okay, just give it like a hot minute. We'll see who else jumps on, or you're watching this replay. Welcome to a new year. Welcome to a new year. And welcome to Self-Made. I decided to kick off the year jumping back on to social media and moving over to doing a little bit more content here on YouTube. So we're kicking it off with, like I said, Self-Made live stream series every week on Wednesday, 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. We're going to do about 13 episodes of this. So we're going to see. So if you are a business owner, an entrepreneur, a coach, a consultant, course creator, and you would like some help promoting your business, marketing your business through social media, your personal brand. Basically, if you're here because you want to attract high achieving clients and amplify your credibility online so that you can achieve all those things. And at the same time, basically keeping a good balance mentally and emotionally and keeping all of that up to par, then you're in the right place. Okay, so like I said, this is episode 1. I thought it only fit to kick off the year. Hi, loves. I thought it only fit to kick off the year with goals. I had a whole other plan, but my perfectionitis and overanalysis basically just scrapped all that. And we're like, we should get back to kind of setting a new tone, right? Or setting the tone for a new year. With our goals list. Now, I do things a little bit differently. So I have made kind of how I set up my whole year based on goals. Not doing your typical like SMART goals. I feel like those are like everybody every year is like SMART goals. Just make them SMART. And it's just, I'm not here for that. So if you want something a little bit different, then follow along with this. Okay. So that all being said, I feel like if you haven't been following me for a while, or if you're new, I should briefly introduce myself. I have made a intro video. So go watch that. I won't go into a whole long story, but basically I've been an entrepreneur since I was 13 as an actress in Hollywood, actress and producer in Hollywood, then started my own business, coaching and consulting, and then finally amplified it into starting my own agency called Stage 8. It's branding and marketing agency. So go back and watch my story videos, all on that stuff, if that is of interest to you. But let's pretty much like dive in today. So if you have pen and paper, get that out. Yeah, so this is pretty much how and I've already got mine that I did on New Year's, okay? It looks like scratch paper. And there's a back to it, okay? But these are basically like a couple steps to setting up your new year to achieve your goals that actually work, right? So everybody has strategies and tips and tricks, and they have their own way of doing things. So if you have your own, awesome. I'm going to share a little bit on mine. And I like to keep it really simple because if you are watching this and you're an entrepreneur, if you're starting or you're just wanting to get to that next level, you know we've got a million things in our mind, right? We've got a million different high loves watching. We have so many different things going through our mind that like you just need to keep things really simple, like super simple. Kiss it, if you will. And I'm playing with lighting on this, okay, too. So bear with all of that. I'm not going to do it all perfectly. I'm having Patricia sit down for a minute. That's the part of my personality that wants to be perfect all the time. Okay. So the first one, I always set, yes, it's about vision. We've heard this 1,000 times, okay? But one of the things on how I do this a little bit differently is I will do what I call vision mapping hypnotherapy. You can do kind of like a sitting with yourself, doing like your own like visualization meditation, if you will, or you can kind of dive in even deeper and actually get a hypnotherapy session. That being said, it starts with vision. So sitting down with yourself, getting into like just a really clear space, and then projecting your energy body, if you will, into the future, however long you want to go. That could be a year, that could be 5 years. One of the keys on this is to remember to be flexible. So I'm big on like, if you're going to do like a 5-year vision mapping, then just definitely heavy on making sure that things stay flexible. But that being said, sitting down with yourself, closing your eyes, getting in tune, and actually like visualizing what you want future you to be doing. Secondly, how most importantly, you want future you to feel when you've done or accomplished or have achieved that goal achievement, right? So I'm big on making sure that your emotions are really in alignment with that ideal version of you, future self, if you will. So some people use the wheel of life. If you like doing that, I do. Sometimes if you don't know what that is, feel free to Google, right? But it's basically just draw a circle and, put a bunch of lines, or put about like 5 or 6 lines, and then itemize the main components of your life that you want to improve or amplify, right? Health, wealth / career, relationships. I always like to put learning in that wheel, something I want to learn new every year. So if you want to use the wheel of life and then do the vision mapping hypnotherapy or visualization, basically just sitting down, getting in touch with and truly visualizing, like watching outside of you, a version of you, that future version of you, and like playing, it's like playing a movie in your mind, and what you're doing and what does that look like, and most importantly, what does that feel like? Okay, so that's step 1. Thanks for the thumbs up. Okay, cool. 2, this is where it goes back to those SMART goals, right? That's the standard that everybody says. I'm going to flip it a little bit and just make it a little bit more simple. Passion, purpose, profit. Passion, purpose, profit. What are you passionate about? What aligns with a deeper purpose can also then be profitable? Super simple. Everybody has, I believe, something that they believe is their purpose or achieving their purpose. And sometimes we can get carried away. I've been equally guilty of this. Sometimes we can get carried away of like, it's my purpose and it's for this like higher awareness thing. I'm exaggerating, I know. And then we don't really think about like the logical, like the practicality on, cool, is that something that will be fulfilling on a profitable level? I'm absolutely believer in you can achieve anything that you want in your life. There will always be challenges, there will always be hurdles, and you can achieve anything that you want. And making things profitable is fun. It's just fun. Being profitable, it's fun, right? Again, there's always going to be challenges. We're always going to have something to overcome. But if you stay focused on what your passion is, just say just, right? I make it sound like easier, but realistically, like you're going to have some hard shit. You're going to have hard days. And not all of them you're going to want everybody to see. Not all of them are going to be on camera. But know that if you're on this journey, right? I try to, right? I'll remind myself of this every day. Right? It's about the journey, not the destination. Okay. But if you're at least feeling like it's something that you're passionate about and it's a desire that fulfills your purpose and it's profitable, then to me, that really checks all of those boxes. put in the comments if you have a different opinion or share your own thoughts and visions on that. But that's for me. Okay. So I don't really do SMART goals every year. I do passion, purpose, and profit goals. That's how I align with it. So what is that for you? And feel free to put them in the comments too. Okay. Yes. You guys, tell me if the lighting is a little bit dark, because honestly, when I started this and tested the lighting, it was fine. And now that I'm looking at it, it's like not, but we're going to keep moving and I'll adjust it next week. Okay. Number 3, checklist and tasks. Like, put your goal and then make the check, like, right? The goal is the first one. Checklist is the third one. Like I said, that's my chicken scratch version. I live by my calendar. I live by my calendar, whether it's client sessions or I'm shooting something live, or I'm just having a meeting with somebody, or just having an event with friends. Whatever it is, I live by my calendar. That's the first thing when I sit down on my computer. That's the first thing I look at. I believe that time is something you can never get back. And so making sure that you respect your own time and that others respect your time is a really high value for me. So when it comes to achieving certain things, certain goals that you want, then make a checklist and put it on the calendar. I have a special, I'm total nerd for this, okay? Like, just full transparency. I have a calendar for my either like goals or tasks or whatever, right? Like, I have client sessions, meetings, like all of that, but then I literally make a separate calendar on my Google Calendar. You know how you can turn them on and off on the side? If I literally have one that is for goals, and it's always there on my calendar. It doesn't affect the rest of scheduling or anything like that, but I can see it. I know that that's one way that it helps me stay accountable myself. I believe in accountability buddies, but you also should always take on that 100% yourself. So my calendar is one of the ways that I do that. If I can see it and if it's on my calendar, it happens. If it doesn't, just my brain is going a mile a minute. Sometimes I forget stuff, or like my ADD is like on to like 5 other things already. And if it's not on the calendar, it doesn't happen. Like, and I've been so guilty of forgetting stuff, or just, again, you're an entrepreneur, a million things are going through your brain. Things will fall through the cracks. Until you have a solid team, yay. But until that time, no. And even when you do, things are going to fall through the cracks. We're human, things happen. So put it on the calendar. Make the checklist of whatever those goals are, right? And then make the checklist of what needs to happen. 3 things per goal on a checklist that need to happen in order to achieve that goal or that desire, and put it on the calendar. Keep it simple. Yes, love that. Okay, cool. Number 4. Create, how do I want to say this? It's getting in the space of being committed. It's totally getting in the space of being committed. I will, full transparency, I have made lists before, and yet internally, like, I wasn't fully committed to them. You know what I mean? Like, put some comments or let me know. Okay, I'm just being truthful on it, because I think there's no reason to sugarcoat. Again, we're human. We try to set bigger things, and then things don't happen, right? And so I wasn't really committed. I wasn't fully, like, I didn't have that like internal yes. So alignment is one thing, and we'll get to that, right? That's the last one. But making sure that you are, like, you feel that you're committed and that you are going to commit. I'm really big on, in the personal development space, right? Really understanding your subconscious. And so one of the things, look, my alarm's going off. Okay. The other thing, like I said, put it on your calendar and then put an alarm. One of my goals, I wanted to literally drink more water. My alarm is going off, even though I put it for silent. It's 2:15 for me. It's literally my alarm is going off telling me to drink more water. Pause, please. I'm committed to drinking more water this year. Okay. Being committed, making sure, like it was for water as the perfect example, it was like there was I don't know how to explain it. It felt like a full yes in my body. It felt like a full yes. Not the, oh, it's because I have to. If you set a goal and then try to commit to it with a, oh, it's because I have to energy, then that's resistance energy, right? I'll get back to the subconscious in a minute. I remember what we were talking about, right? But if you set that with an, oh, I have to kind of energy, then that's resistance energy. And so you're going to be trying to achieve something with this like tug of war kind of energy that just, it's exhausting, right? And we wonder why we have burnout. If we're setting goals and desires with resistance energy, it's one of the recipes for burnout, because it takes more energy to do the thing that we say that we want to do with this like tug of war resistance energy, right? So let me know if you understand what I mean by that, or if I'm explaining that clearly. So real quick, to go back to the subconscious though, when we want to commit to a goal, a desire, and we write it down and we make a checklist and we put it on our calendar, and then for whatever reason, we like don't do it, or something really important gets in the way. There's always something, right? Some fire you have to put out, or some argument you got into, or just something else, some other thing that is a must be done right now, that then stops you for whatever reason. This is bound to happen. If you don't already, like, let me know if you know what I'm talking about. And for whatever reason we don't in that moment then do that goal or desire. Like if I hadn't taken a drink of water in that moment when my alarm, the commitment that I set for myself, went off, if I didn't at least take that moment, I'm telling my subconscious that I'm not worth it, that I'm not valuable, that I'm not that I'm not serious about this, that it's not as important. And so you kind of like, you bypass the thing, your value system. And then that subconsciously tells you, it's subconscious. This is not it, right? Like everybody's like, no, I do value myself. Of course, consciously you're saying that. But subconsciously, if the behavior, I've been guilty of this, okay? So right there with you. But if the behavior doesn't match or doesn't back up the goal in that moment when you say you're going to do it, subconsciously you're telling yourself that you're not worth it. And then when you go to do some other goal, some other like higher, bigger thing, there's all kinds of self-doubt, there's procrastination, there's like imposters, like all of those tags that like, right, we don't want to identify with. Just being real. All of that is bound to happen because of, in that moment, you've got this like 5-second window to be like, am I going to do the thing that I said I was committed to? Or am I going to let my subconscious know that it's not worth it? Right. And this is like, it's not a judgmental thing. And I hope like it doesn't come across like there's no, like, I'm not trying to be negative, nothing like that. It's just understanding how our subconscious works and how we can better set ourselves up for creating momentum to achieve the success and the goals, or to achieve the goals and the desires that we want. So we can ultimately have the whatever thing that is that you want, right? Better life, more time with your family, more income, more like whatever that thing is that you want. We all want something different. So that's all I mean to say with that. Give me some comments. Let me know your thoughts on it, or if you're resonating. I see you, babe. Oh, I miss you, beautiful. Okay, I'm going to read those after because I want to stay. We only have 2 more, okay? And I really want to, I'm going to make these like super quick. These are going to be like 30 minutes every time. I'm totally going to fix the lighting. I'm sorry. Patricia is like, this is not going to work. Okay. I know it's because I'm backlit too, but right. That's just what's happening. It looks like a jungle in my apartment right now. Anyways, I'm becoming a plant mom. I'm embracing being a plant mom. Okay, stay focused, Sarah. And don't talk in third person all year. Balancing water with coffee. Just saying. All right, number 5. Okay. This is where I was mentioning before, staying flexible and adaptable. That's especially if you're setting those like bigger long-term, like 5-year kind of goals. If you're doing vision mapping, that's 5 years and out or further. And even still, even if it's 1 year, so many things are going to change. Pretty sure we all get that now in hindsight of too many things that happened since 2020. That being said, staying flexible, staying adaptable, especially knowing that you're not going to have awesome high days every day, right? Like that's the illusion that everybody's like being an entrepreneur, having your own business, turning your side hustle into your main hustle, like all that shit. Like this is the best ever. Be your own boss. You're not gonna like, we gotta just like keep it real. I love those taglines. I really do. But I'm just here to like, let's keep it grounded and keep it real. You're not gonna have epic days. I have had this year alone, failures, breakdowns. Oh God, right? I'm not gonna put them all on camera. That doesn't help you guys. After I work through my shit, then I can share how I got through it, what worked, what didn't work, right? I've had launches that failed. I have had like just moments where you're just like, I don't know what the fuck to do. I don't know what to do. Okay. So just a reminder. And I know a lot of you who are watching this, you're probably like, thank you, Sarah. Like we know all this. I am not trying to tell you anything you don't know. I am here to support you, to help you get to the next level, and here to just remind you. Because reminder is how we stay consistent. I need that just as much. So that's why we're keeping it with the basics, kicking off this year. So stay flexible, stay adaptable. Go take a mental yoga class, right? Like, yes, have the goals. Yes, have the desires. But if something's gonna like need to fix or change or mold or maneuver, like we have to be adaptable because we don't know. And honestly, the last 2 years, a lot of things changed. Marketing has changed. Needing to update your branding is needed now. Having a personal brand is more important than ever. Like there's so many things that shifted because the world shifted. And when impactful events happen, it shifts our value system. And so naturally, our values are what we create brands off of. Our values are what we build relationships out of. Our values are how we stay aligned with achieving the things that we want. Like values are everything. Most importantly, values are what build trust, and values are what you connect with your clients, customers, audience. Like it's our values. So when those things change, it means that everything in the space of branding, marketing, promoting yourself, all of that stuff is going to change. So this year, especially now more than ever, be flexible. Thank you. I had my water. Okay. See, it's on snooze. Okay. Let's keep it going. So flexible, adaptable, we understand. Make plans, but be willing to adjust them. Set goals, be willing to adjust them, right? Pretty self-explanatory. The final one. And write in yours too. Comment in what yours are. If I've missed some that like really work for you, like I want to know what yours are. I'm always a student as much as I've learned, and then I know things that have worked and I've failed and succeeded. I always want to learn new things from everybody else as well. So if there's something that that works for you, put it in the comments. I want to hear it. But these are just mine. So the sixth and final one is alignment. I touched on it briefly before. I feel like it's most important. Here's why. What I mean by alignment is you're being in alignment with the highest version of you. Call it your best self, call it your future self, call it your higher self, whatever your term is. If you've been following me for a while, you've heard that a million times. But being in alignment with that self. In vision mapping, we call it the future self, because every new goal is going to require a new version of you. So when you can be in alignment with that future version of you, that future version does things, thinks, believes, acts, behaves very differently than the version of you now in some aspects, right? Like every new level is going to require a new version of you and different behavior and different thinking and an expansion of who you currently are, if growth is your goal. So being in alignment with that future version of you and how they feel is like crucial. It's the first thing that I do. I know it's the last thing on my list, but it's the first thing that I do. Because you are your business. Whether you are somebody who is truly the face of your business and you're building your profitable, or you're building your personal brand profitably, hopefully. Or maybe you own a company and right, you're inside the company, but like you're not really the face of it, but you still have to like be the one. You're the glue, you're the thing. Your behaviors, your mindset, if you will. I believe it's not just about mindset, right? It's again, the alignment includes your heart. It includes that higher version of you, that spiritual version of you, if you will. It includes your mindset. So it's all three of them. You will never hear me say that I'm a mindset person. Nothing wrong with it. It's absolutely needed, but it's one of the three. So it's missing the whole perspective. I don't know yet what the word is for all three of them. Alignment, because it's how you feel and your mindset and that future version of you, or that highest version of you. And the highest version of you meaning like when I'm having a bad day, when you're having a bad day, like your inner child comes out that has a tantrum, not the highest version of you, not the one that's going to be building the successful business. It's just not. Let's just be real. There is a place for that version of you. There's a place for that part of you. We love those parts of you. They need to be heard. They need to be loved. And yet that's not the part of you that's going to build the successful business. It's just not. Needed, loved, but not the one that is like showing up every day, doing the damn thing, making shit happen. That's not the one. They're over there on the floor having a tantrum because that's what sometimes you need to do as an entrepreneur. You need to have a tantrum on the floor. It's human nature. Let's call it that. Have some compassion on yourself. And that's one of the key elements. Compassion was one of the key elements of alignment. Not to get caught up in that, like, I have to be perfect all the time. I have to be positive all the time. Like, set standards without toxic, like, positivity. Set goals, but don't get caught in the, like, have to hustle all the time. Because then you're out of alignment, right? That's a part of you. There's a hustle part of you. They're needed. There's a tantrum part of you. Mine's on the floor still over there. When I want to call her forward and have a tantrum, that's what happens. So you have different parts of you aligning and making sure that you are in alignment with that highest version of you is like, it's paramount. It's absolutely paramount. So like I said, it's the last on my list, but it's the first thing that I do, getting into alignment with that highest version of you. Write down characteristics of who they need to be in that vision mapping. See that future version of you. See how their behavior is. Feel into the emotions of how they feel. How is that different than who you are now? Doesn't mean there's anything wrong with who you are now. You're beautiful. You're amazing. Absolutely as you are. And when those of us who are crazy enough to have growth as the goal constantly, then we're always like, cool, what's next? What do I get to achieve next? Who do I need to become next? Like, that's where our perspective is. So if that's you, then you totally get this. Knowing that however you want to be is absolutely okay. And most importantly, being authentic. Being absolutely authentic. You aligning and tapping into and fully embodying that highest version of you, that is your most authentic. So when everybody's like, show up and be more authentic, like you don't, well, check yourself, Sarah. All parts of you are authentic. The tantrum part of you, they're authentic. They're authentically having a tantrum. Okay, I say that because there's always bound to be one. I had one recently. Okay, I had like 3 clients that were like in just the mode of tantrum. It's because it's a new year. We're setting new goals. And here's what happens whenever you set a new goal. And we'll wrap it up with this. Whenever you set a new goal, whenever you have a new desire that you want to achieve, we'll go back to the subconscious. What happens automatically, what happens in the mind, in the subconscious, is all of a sudden those parts of you that want to have the tantrum or stay where you are, that don't have growth as a goal, they start freaking out. And that's when fear comes up. That's when just, oh God, the perfection paralysis shows up, right? Like all of those internal voices, those are all parts of you authentically that you love, but they start getting louder because it means, oh my God, we have to change. We have to, like, what's happening? And so they start freaking out. I talk about your internal parts, their characteristics of your personality. I talk about them like they are people because you should have a great relationship with them. It is healthy. It is mentally healthy to do so. And keeping in mind that they're gonna start getting louder and having this like, oh my gosh, what are we doing? I can't tell you how many conversations I've had with myself and clients where whenever, right, we set something new, literally the next session that we're doing, it's like we'll have a business session and then the next session is like, okay, we got to focus on like alignment and all the personal development, making sure that like you are making sure that they're like empowered in emotional, mental, and spiritual well-being. That's always the next session because we've just activated a new desire and a new goal. And so with that, we've activated all of the insecurities, all of the fears. It's totally normal. So if that's where you're at, or if you've been in this game for a minute and it's happening again, and just as a reminder, it's totally normal. And that's what staying in alignment is all about. Because if you bring yourself back to, cool, but who is that future version of me? Who is the highest version of me? How do they think? How do they feel? How do they behave? Making sure that all 3 of those are in alignment. That's the name of the game. Okay. So yes, I wanted to make these about 30 minutes each, and we're right on time, 3:33 to be exact. 30 minutes and 33 seconds to be exact. Okay, so that wraps up episode 1. I'm going to title this probably Vision Mapping for 2023. If you don't already know, these will be weekly, every Wednesday, 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm titling it Self-Made. We're going to do 13 episodes. We shall see what happens. If you have questions, if you want me to answer something, either be on my, subscribe to my newsletter or on my subscriber list so you can be getting all the notifications, emails for this. DM me on Instagram. I'm also more on LinkedIn now, so you can message me over there. Send me your questions if you will. I'd be happy to either make it a video if it's prominent, and if nothing else, answer them on. I'll go to comments in just a quick second. But final, if you don't already know, I launched last year the Profitable Personal Brand ebook. Super excited. You can download that for free on my website. Basically, if you want to be attracting high achieving clients, I don't know who doesn't, but if that's a want of yours, by amplifying your online credibility, packaging yourself, promoting yourself, making sure that your personal brand is profitable. That's a new ebook. There's lots of fun downloadable goodies on my website, serahdelaine.com, SERAHDLAINE. The link is anywhere on YouTube. Open up any of the videos and you'll find it there. Or just go to my website. So that being said, I love everybody who jumped on the live. We're going to do these every week. Gosh, yeah, man, it really turned like super dark in the back. I don't love that. I'll fix that for next week. Okay. One brave soul for comments. Miss you, beautiful sweetheart. Do I know you, darling? I don't recognize your handle name. Happy New Year to you too. Yes, I was born October 23rd. I am not a Scorpio because my autism, I'm a Libra October. Yay, you're a Libra. October 12th. Awesome. Scorpio because of my autism. I don't know what that means, love. Can you explain a little bit more, please? But I have such a, I love learning about autism and people with autism. I bet you are immensely creative. So to clarify, I've got about 5 planets in Libra. I am 29 degrees Libra. So on my actual astrology chart, it is the 23rd, but I'm like the last degree of the sign. So I'm kind of like 1 degree until I would be in Scorpio. For the longest time, for my whole like beginning of my life, I thought it was a Scorpio. Turns out I'm a Libra. When I learned a lot more. Okay. Cool. I love you guys so much. I'm going to sign off. Subscribe to YouTube. I'm going to be here next week, 12 Pacific, 3 p.m. Eastern Standard Time. DM me any questions. I love you guys so much. And I will fix the lighting next time. I'm sorry. I can't. It's not great. Okay. I love you. Go download Profitable Personal Brand if it applies to you. All right. See you next week.